So when you went to the home where the party was at, who was there?
Um, it was weird because usually the gate it's like a metal gate, and it's like a real nice house, and so um, the gate was always open and it was closed, and there was a truck that was back there, and there was a man on it with a gun, like a big rifle, and it was weird because like you you you're at the end of the street or whatever, and there's a man standing there with a gun, and I didn't know what to think or whatever, but I had my mom with me, and because I know they speak Spanish, so I took her with me, and they were like, no, everybody left about 1 o'clock, and so that they said that she got in the car, but they didn't know what car.
What area of town was this? I mean, I know we said Oakcliff, but where was this?
It's
This
a Western Park, which is right there by Molina, like
okay.
that area.
So the guy with the gun says everybody is gone.
Well, he was like I guess somebody that was just there, and he didn't. I don't know if he lived there or not because um, I was in a different mindset.
Yeah, of
So
course.
he, the little boy, I think my mom talked to him, and he said that everybody was there, or whatever, but they all left by 1.
So nobody saw who she left with. Nobody saw anything.
That her friends, her girlfriends that she was with, they told her, "Do you want to go with us? Do you need a ride?" And she said, "No, my ride's coming," and so they left her.
Okay. So you as a mother, by now I know you're probably worried as hell. What do you feel? What are your what do you feel? What are your emotions? What do you say? What do you do in a situation like that?
Right. What do you do? Um, I was um, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. The police didn't, the 72-hour thing. You gotta wait. Like that was
Yeah.
killing me. And all they wanted to know was she would run away. They wanted to go knock on doors and say, let me see, she's in here. And that wasn't good enough for me. I knew that was something was wrong. Her phone kept going to like saying it was full, but then it emptied out because we kept calling it. We kept calling it, and
So somebody went through that phone and
right.
emptied it out.
So it was a brand new phone too, and that was the big deal about the story too. So she was with the boy that night, not a boy, but her friend, and he came to visit her, and they walked to go to the store, and then came back, and then he left, and I met him that day.
Who was this?
His
boy?
name is Martin Rambo, and he lived close by down the street from us, and he called me 3 months after she was missing and asked me if I found her. He said that him and another guy were playing at the park, and they found her phone.
So he found her phone.
Uh-huh. And I said, "How did you know it was her phone?" He said, "Well, because when we looked in it," and I was like, "Oh, well." He said that they went and traded it for a sack of weed.
Dime set.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was a brand new phone. And so the police never recovered it, never got records or nothing. They didn't care. So
Did you ever know if they talked to this kid?
yeah, so they questioned him, and he asked for a lawyer, and they left him alone.
They never went back and questioned him?
No. And in the report, the police report, I didn't get that till like 5 years later, right? So in the report, it has Gustavo and Martin all in the report, and they're the two boys that found her phone.
So Gustavo and Martin, the kids that have you ever heard anything from them other than that night? Then other than those three months that passed?
No.
No. What do you think happened? You tell me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you've read the report. What does the police report say?
So Gustavo had a girlfriend, and she used to live here, and her mother took her away from here because of him. And she said that he was a bad boyfriend that he would control her and like push her around. I guess put his hands on her, and she left because of him. So um, my daughter kind of features that girl. That girl told her mom that she talked to Gustavo and he told her that he killed my daughter. And she started asking him about it. He said there was blood everywhere, and she started asking him about it. He got mad and he didn't want to talk anymore. But that it was killing her, so she had to tell her mom. So her mom called me, and so I think Gustavo did it.
What's his name? Gustavo who?
Villegas.
Gustavo Villegas.
Villegas.
And you told the police this?
Yes.
And the police didn't do anything about it. What ended up happening after you told the police this? What did they tell you?
So it's really hard to get a hold of them. You have to leave a message and hope they call you back, you know, and by then you lose all your, you know, momentum of this, you know, exciting thing you got to tell them, and they don't give a damn. So he said that we had to wait till he got in trouble to question him about it.
Okay. What was the detective's name, if you don't mind me asking?
Ibarra.
Detective Ibarra?
Uh-huh.
From the first 48.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's on the first 40.
He was on that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Detective Ibarra tells you, hey, there's nothing I can do until we arrest him for a crime he commits. If he doesn't commit a crime, we can't question him about this. He told you that.
Mm-hmm.
How many times did you call them for, you know, you asked for help? How many times did you call them?
A lot. Plenty.
How many years did you, if you would say, how many years have passed now since 2022? So it's 12 years have passed, and you still haven't heard anything from Stephanie.
She hasn't stopped trying either. Stopped calling.
Okay. And have you ever heard any rumors like, hey, we saw her walking, we saw her here?
Oh yeah. In the beginning, it was like for about a year. It was, oh, we think we seen her over here. You know, 2:00 in the morning. I'd get up and it was a lake, and I'd, you know, be out there. Sometimes I take my kids. My kids are small. You know, my smallest was 3 years old, and I was dragging them out. You know, taking them to go see, and it was never nothing.
Stephanie, let me ask you something. Do you, in your heart, believe she's alive? Something's telling you that she's gone. What would you tell her right now if you could see her? What would you tell her?
I love her, and I would switch places with her. And then I'm sorry.
I just want to let you know that I know your character. I know the person you are. I know you're a mom, and moms never give up. Never give up. And there's going to be justice for your daughter, either here or in heaven. Do you believe that you will get justice one day? I think so. I think this is going to help.
Yeah.
I think we need to be more aware of what's happening to our community, you know, because I mean, I feel that you've been let down. That it's, you know, it's not a dog, it's not a piece of clothes, it's a human being that's missing, it's been gone, been taken from you, and they need to pay for that, you know. How do you feel in regards to Gustavo?
So I reached out to Gustavo on Facebook Messenger. I went to his page and I told him he was a piece of shit, and that I hope I never see him. I went to his house because I know where he lives, and I knocked on his door. Nobody would come out. And I mean, I'm looking for him. I went to his baby
How
mama's.
old was he? How old was he when this happened?
The same age as her, maybe a year older.
She was 16?
16.
16 years old.
Yeah.
And you went to his house. You never opened up to his parents, and they never wanted to.
Nobody opened the door to, you know, when I went knocking or whatever. I had flyers in my hand. I left them all over their yard. I know they know I went.
They moved.
They moved. the little boy Martin Ambo moved. Me and my cousin Angela's godfather is my cousin Lewis, and you know, he was a real gangster, or whatever. So he went knocking on doors, and nobody would come out, and you know, so that's guilt. If you didn't have no, you know, nothing bad to say, then why can't you come out and talk?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was. I think so. It was Gustavo. He took advantage of her. Uh, she was there at the party, and there was a boy she liked there, and he started talking to some other girls. So she was sad, and all her friends were like, "Here, you know, take this, drink that," and so they said that she was kind of like, you know, buzzing or messed up or whatever. And I think that he's the one that gave her a ride. But you know, her dad Carlos, his baby mama Rose, she had a problem with my daughter when we had the prayer thing for my daughter. She was there with her hands standing, you know, and I went over there to ask her what was wrong, and she said that her daughter didn't know why they were there. Uh, she was upset that I had the first kid from Carlos, and so she didn't want to be there. But her brother was the one that picked up Angela that night from my house because Angela went to school with him, and when we tried to ask him questions, he didn't want to talk to us. He didn't want to tell us nothing. And he lives close to me. He lives right down the street from me. So I go by his house all the time, you know, and I wanted to see him outside too. And Rose, she told me that she was fighting with my daughter Olivia, and she told her that she wishes my daughter was old enough so she could kick her ass. And, you know, when I see her, it's, you know, on sight. So, I don't know if there's anything that with that, like Gustavo and that boy, Rose's brother are friends. So I don't know, you know, it's.
I think so.
Yeah, it's.
So you think they're connected? The brother-in-law, the other brother or whatever, is connected to it as well.
With also with Martin Ambo.
With Martin Ambo.
Yeah, because Martin Ambo and Rose's brother live on the same street, like 5 houses between each other, and he used to give Angela a ride all the time. So we asked him, you know, and he didn't want to say anything. We were talking to his girlfriend, and he went and took her away from us.
They
So
all acted the same, like very suspicious, just like moving.
What would you say to the Dallas Police Department now?
I would tell them that they fucking suck, and if it was their kid, that I hope that, you know, I hope this doesn't happen to their kids, and you know, because not knowing, and kind of knowing, but they don't do shit, it fucks with you, you know.
Yeah. Well, what do you recommend to the young mothers nowadays that are maybe going through a similar situation like this? What do you recommend the first step they do with something like that when your daughter's not?
Question everybody.
Yeah, question everybody. Tell the
Make
police.
them give
Yeah,
you
don't let them
stop.
tell you nothing. You know, they would make me feel bad and make me cry. I didn't want to speak to them. You know, they made it hard, really hard. I would tell them, don't let your kid go. You know, it's you can trust your kid, but it's other people out there that you can't trust. You know, innocent prey.
What would you say to the teenagers, to the kids? What do you have to tell them? This is your opportunity to voice yourself out. What if you had one thing you could tell them?
Life is long. Slow down. Don't, you know, it's not worth it to go and get lost or get taken. You know, your parents probably get on your nerves, and life sucks. You know, sometimes, but it'll get better. And just, you know, live long, stay safe. Scary out there.
I would imagine you spend hours walking the streets, talking to people. During those hours, you had hope. You had hope. Do you still have hope?
I still have hope. I mean, you know, I feel what I feel, but I want to see her. I want her to come home. You know, you think all these different thoughts because you don't know if she's alive, or if she is, maybe somebody has her, but you don't want to think those thoughts, you know?
Yeah.
I want to put her to rest. If she's, you know, she's gone, I want to put her to rest. Like everybody else gets to. She deserves it. She was beautiful. She was smart. She was tall. She wanted life, you know.
What did she want to be growing up? What did
She
she
wanted
want
to be a judge.
to judge?
She was really smart, like super A. She
She was like Ferdinand.
yeah, like the
wouldn't
bull,
hurt anything.
like big, but you know, like soft
So
and
sweet and lovable.
she was a hustler. She would make candles to sell, and when she was smaller, she always had a backpack. She'd put school supplies in and sell them, you know, stickers, candy. She wanted to be something. She was gonna be something. She was designer. She liked, you know, name brand things.
Very spoiled.
Yeah,
There was no
she
reason.
started talking to her dad's side of the family too. When she moved over here, I mean, not moved over here, but I think they moved over here, and her cousins, she started hanging out with them.
Reached out.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to connect herself with that part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've been awesome. Thank you for coming out and telling your story.
Thank you.
I don't know if this will help, but I believe it will. I think you as a mother, you've never given up. I applaud you for that because nowadays you don't see that, you know. But you know, behalf of me and our guys, we commend you for that because
Thank you.
you're very special. You know, God gives us just enough. You know. Before we cut off, I want you to look really deep inside your heart and tell Angela something.
Angela, I love you, baby. I miss you. You have a niece, your brothers, your grandma. They're waiting for you. They miss you. They love you. And you'll always be my baby. And I miss you. I love you.
This is for my mother. Let's give her closure. Let's bring Angela home. If you know anything about Angela's story, help me push this. Let's push it. Let's make it nationwide. If the little girl from the army went missing, why can't we help this mother and get her closure? All right.
Thank you.